there existed a mystical dagger, one that had the power to turn back time itself. And for this dagger, kingdoms waged war against each other. Even blood relations meant nothing. One brother killed his own for it. Our story begins in the vast Persian Empire. The empire was ruled by a wise and noble king named Sarman. One day, the king left the palace to understand the condition of his people. While walking through the streets, he spotted a fearless orphan child. Impressed by the boy's bravery, the king brought him to the palace to raise as his own. He named the boy Dastan. Though King Sarman already had 2 sons, he raised Dastan like a true prince. 15 years passed, and all 3 boys grew into strong, capable warriors. One day, the king's only brother, Mizan, informed him that the kingdom of Alamut was secretly supplying weapons to their enemies. Mizan insisted that they must capture Alamut at any cost. But King Sarman refused to attack such a sacred city. The very next day, the 3 brothers decided to act on their own. They marched out with a massive army to invade Alamut. Their plan was to attack from all sides. Meanwhile, Dastan led a small group of soldiers, scaled a wall, and opened a gate from the inside. Their army entered the city easily and overpowered the defenders. Meanwhile, Princess Tamina of Alamut handed over a mysterious dagger to a trusted guard, ordering him to hide it in a secret place. But just then, Dastan arrived at the scene and managed to steal the dagger. Unaware of its magical powers, he had no idea that it was a dagger capable of turning back time. Later, Princess Tamina was captured and brought to the royal palace as a prisoner. When Prince Tus proposed marriage to her, Tamina firmly rejected the offer. But the moment she saw the sacred dagger hanging from Dastan's waist, she suddenly changed her mind. She agreed to marry Tus, not out of love, but to get close enough to reclaim the dagger. In the next scene, Tus gave Dastan a royal robe and asked him to gift it to the king during the celebration. He also told Dastan to quickly finalize the marriage with Tamina, but this was all part of a deadly conspiracy. The next day, during a grand feast, Dastan followed his brother's words and gifted the robe to King Sarman. Soon after, Princess Tamina was brought into the court. To everyone's surprise, King Sarman announced that she would marry Dastan instead of Tus. Because Tus already had several wives, the king believed Dastan was a better choice. But tragedy struck moments later. When the king wore the gifted robe, he suddenly collapsed. The robe had been poisoned, and King Sarman died in front of everyone. Since it was Dastan who gifted the robe to the king, everyone believed he had assassinated him as part of a planned conspiracy. Immediately, Garsiv, the king's second son, ordered Dastan to be arrested. But with Princess Tamina's help, Dastan managed to escape the palace. Soon, Dastan realized that it was his elder brother Tus who had plotted the murder to become king. After all, it was Tus who gave him the poison robe. Following the king's death, Tus became the ruler of the vast empire by royal succession. He placed a massive bounty on Dastan's head, ordering the kingdom to capture him dead or alive. Meanwhile, Princess Tamina attacked Dastan, blaming him for the loss of her throne. During their intense fight, Dastan accidentally discovered the dagger's true power. It could rewind time for a few moments. Shocked, Dastan demanded answers from the princess, but Tamina refused to tell him anything. Moments later, she finally revealed the truth. The dagger worked only when a special sand inside it was released. From her words, Dastan realized that his uncle must have ordered the invasion of Alamut for the dagger. Ultimate goal was to harness the dagger's power and become the greatest emperor the world had ever seen. Dastan then decided to meet his uncle Nizam at any cost, thinking he might help him. On the way, he left Tamina behind, thinking she would only slow him down. But Tamina reminded him that no true prince would ever abandon a woman like that. Ashamed, Dastan agreed to take her along. However, after traveling a short distance, Tamina betrayed him, striking him from behind and stealing the dagger. Soon, a group of bandits passed by that very road. With their help, Dastan recaptured the princess and retrieved the dagger once again. However, the bandits captured Dastan too, as they already knew he was a Prince of Persia with a huge bounty on his head. They took the special dagger from him, hoping to sell it for a fortune. But soon, Dastan and Princess Tamina caused chaos inside the bandit camp. Using the distraction, Dastan regained the dagger and escaped with Tamina. From a locket around Tamina's neck, they retrieved the sacred sand required to power the dagger. Then, they arrived secretly at the king's funeral ceremony. There, Dastan tried to meet his uncle in secret. But to his shock, he discovered that the dagger had been swapped. Tamina had cleverly taken it again. At that moment, Dastan noticed something else. His uncle's hands were burned by fire. This confirmed his worst fear. His uncle was also involved in the king's murder. Before he could confront him, the palace guards attacked Dastan. Using his skill and courage, Dastan barely managed to escape. Later in a desert, he caught up with Tamina again and took back the dagger. Frustrated, he asked her, "What are you hiding from me?" Finally, Tamina revealed the origin of the dagger. She explained that long ago, when sin overtook the world, the gods decided to wipe out humanity with a great sandstorm. A young girl prayed to the gods to spare humanity, offering her own life in return. Touched by her selflessness, the gods sealed the deadly sands inside a giant hourglass. As a reward, the gods gifted the girl a magical dagger that could control time. This dagger, which can turn back time, relies on the sacred sand within the hourglass. The surprising thing is, that hourglass is hidden right beneath the sacred Alamut kingdom. After hearing all of this, Dastan asks the princess what would happen if someone inserted the dagger into the hourglass and released the sand. The princess answers, then time would begin to reverse rapidly, and eventually humanity would be destroyed again. Hearing this, Dastan's doubts are finally cleared. In fact, his uncle Nizam had once saved his father from the jaws of a tiger when he was a child. Now his uncle wants to use the dagger to travel back to that moment in time, where he would not save the emperor from the tiger, thus making Nizam the sole emperor of Persia in the future. The princess tells Dastan that to protect humanity, this dagger should be hidden in a secret place. After this, they set off towards the hidden temple where the dagger can be concealed. Meanwhile, Nizam goes to Emperor Tush and explains that Dastan was present at their father's final rites to kill him. He suggests that the order to imprison Dastan should be cancelled, and instead, a death sentence should be issued. In reality, Nizam understands that since he killed the emperor, he doesn't want Dastan to reveal this, so that all the evidence can be destroyed. However, Tush rejects his uncle's proposal and informs him, "I cannot issue a death sentence like this to anyone." As a result, Nizam goes to Hassan Sin, a mysterious group of secret warriors, and assigns them the task of killing Dastan by any means and retrieving the dagger. Following Nizam's instructions, Hassan Sin and his warriors set out to find Dastan. Meanwhile, the bandits capture Dastan and the princess. During the time they rest at night, a mysterious snake sent by Hassan Sin attacks them. Dastan, using the dagger, reverses time briefly and cleverly kills the snake, saving the lives of several members of their group. Therefore, the bandits decide to help them and continue their journey to the temple. When they finally reach their destination, they find that all the people there have been killed. The princess quickly starts acting to hide the dagger, but unfortunately, hundreds of guards arrive and capture Dastan. At the very next moment, Hassan Sin's team arrives and starts attacking the guards. A fierce battle begins between Princess Tamina, Dastan, and the bandits on one side, and Hassan Sin's army on the other. During the battle, Hassan Sin uses a snake to steal the dagger and escapes. Without wasting time, they head straight toward the Alamut kingdom. Meanwhile, Hassan Sin cuts open the snake and hands the dagger to Nizam, who places it in the sacred place and waits, as he has been digging the ground to expose the crystal beneath. Dastan reaches this place and, with the help of a skilled knife-throwing child from Sheikh Omar's team, retrieves the dagger once again. Then, with the dagger in hand, he heads straight to his brother, Emperor Tush, to explain his uncle's plan and the dagger's significance. Dastan injures himself with the dagger in front of Tush, and his brother realizes the truth. However, just then, Nizam enters the room and kills Tush, takes the dagger from Dastan, and orders his death. But at that moment, Princess Tamina arrives and fights the guards, saving Dastan. With her help, they take a secret route and head toward the crystal to stop Nizam. They are confronted by the leader of Hassan Sin's team, battle him, defeat him, and arrive in front of Nizam. During the conversation, Nizam tricks Dastan, stabs him, and pushes him down. Seeing this, Princess Tamina rushes to help him but is also pushed down by Nizam. However, Dastan catches Tamina while she's hanging, but the princess sacrifices herself, releasing her hand so Dastan can stop Nizam. Meanwhile, Nizam places the dagger into the crystal and time starts moving rapidly backward. Dastan and Nizam begin to fight, but eventually Dastan manages to remove the dagger from the crystal. By then, time has gone far back, and they arrive in the time when the Persian army has just conquered Alamut, meaning Emperor Sarman is still alive. Since Dastan remembers everything, he goes to his grandfather and informs him that attacking Alamut was a plot by their uncle Nizam. Hearing this, Prince Tush orders to bring the spy who had informed them about Alamut supplying weapons to their enemies. Realizing his scheme is about to be exposed, Nizam attacks Dastan, but Prince Tush kills Nizam. Dastan then presents himself in front of Princess Tamena and proposes to marry her. The princess is impressed and agrees. And that's how the movie concludes. So, friends, how did you like today's video? Please let me know in the comments. And if you liked it, like the video and share it with your friends. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you get these videos first.